Poco's F series remains synonymous with offering a powerful processor at a relatively low price, and it's the same formula applied to the latest Poco F5 5G. This is currently the only phone sold in India with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 SoC, which shares a lot of its DNA with the flagship Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. The F5 also checks many other important boxes as it comes with an optically stabilized primary camera, very fast charging, and even an IP rating. Here's our full review of the F5 5G. The Poco F5 5G comes in two RAM variants, 8GB and 12GB, and both feature 256GB of storage. Prices are 29,999 rupees and 33,999 rupees for the respective variants. We received the black variant of the F5 5G, which honestly does not look very premium in my opinion, as the plastic back panel attracts fingerprints very easily. The phone is quite light, which I like, but the power button sits uncomfortably flush with the frame. The F5 5G is also IP53 rated for basic dust and water protection. The display on the Poco F5 5G is nice and vibrant, and what's immediately noticeable are the evenly slim bezels on all four sides. The screen itself is a 12-bit POLED panel with a Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, and supports Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus video playback. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 in the F5 5G is a power-efficient SoC built on the 4nm process and offers ridiculous amounts of raw power for this segment. The chip also benchmarks well with scores that are not too far behind Qualcomm's 8th Gen SoCs. The 12GB variant of the Poco F5 5G that we've been testing hasn't skipped a beat yet. System performance has been snappy and heat is managed well. Games such as Asphalt 9 Legends and Genshin Impact both ran very well with solid frame rates. Fast-paced shooters such as Call of Duty Mobile also ran very well on the high graphics and max frame rate settings, with the display running at 120Hz. Battery life has been pretty great so far. The Poco F5 5G lasted for a good 17 hours and 34 minutes in our HD video loop test, which is above average. The charging speed is also relatively quick. The Poco F5 5G runs MIUI 14, which is based on Android 13. Now, Poco has promised to deliver 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. As usual, there are a ton of pre-installed apps and shortcuts on the home screen by default, and some of the native apps are notorious for spamming the notification shade with unwanted alerts and ads. The Poco F5 5G has 3 rear cameras, a 64MP primary with OIS, an 8MP ultrawide, and a 2MP macro. The phone also has a 16MP selfie camera. Now, the main camera captures pretty decent looking landscape shots during the day. HDR is generally handled well, dynamic range is acceptable, and colors are pleasing. The camera does struggle a bit to resolve finer details and distant objects in landscape shots, but these are only noticeable once you really zoom into the image and go looking for them. Low-light images from the main camera also have good exposure and details. Now, the ultra-wide camera expectedly doesn't capture as much details as the main one even under good lighting. Exposure can be a bit of a hit or miss too at times. In low light, this camera underexposes the scene unless you use night mode. Now, the selfie camera on the Poco F5 5G is not great but can capture passable selfies. It does tend to struggle with backlit selfies, and portrait mode with this camera isn't very convincing. The Poco F5 5G can capture videos at up to 4K 30fps using the main camera, while the ultrawide is limited to 1080p 30fps. Videos recorded at 4K look decent in the day, but walking and shooting does introduce some jitter in the video, which is more pronounced in low light. The Poco F5 5G is an undeniable powerhouse at this price, as it delivers raw performance that comes close to Qualcomm's flagship 8th Gen series SoCs. This, coupled with good heat management, makes the F5 5G an excellent option for anyone looking for a powerful smartphone for gaming without needing to spend more on a flagship. Other areas where the F5 5G excels are its display, good battery life, and slim design. I just wished it felt a bit more premium like its predecessor did, and the selfie and ultra-wide cameras are also quite average and could have been better. So that was our review of the Poco F5 5G. Let us know what you think about this phone in the comments, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.